Most predators rely on sight. Lions wait for the right light. Cheetahs need open ground and clear visibility. Even great white sharks, with their extraordinary array of senses, ultimately use their eyes to confirm a target before striking. But there is one predator that doesn't need light at all. No moonlight, no starlight, no infrared. Complete, total darkness. And it still hits its target almost every single time. This is the barn owl, and what it can do in the dark is one of the most extraordinary things in the animal kingdom. To understand why this is so remarkable, you need to understand what hunting in complete darkness actually means scientifically. Researchers at Cornell University conducted a series of experiments in a specially constructed room, walls lined with sound-absorbing material, every source of light eliminated, including infrared, which many nocturnal animals can detect. Inside this room, they released a barn owl and placed a mouse in the rustling leaf litter on the floor. The owl could not see the mouse. The mouse could not see the owl. The only information available to either animal was sound. The barn owl caught the mouse. Every time. Researchers repeated the experiment hundreds of times across multiple studies, varying the position of the mouse, the temperature of the litter, the temperature and humidity of the room. The result was the same. In conditions of absolute darkness, with sound as the only available sense, the barn owl's accuracy was described by researchers as essentially perfect. The reason comes down to one of the most extraordinary pieces of anatomy in the animal kingdom: the barn owl's ears. Unlike most animals, a barn owl's ears are not symmetrically positioned on its head. The left ear sits slightly higher than the right ear, and the right ear is angled slightly downward. This asymmetry means that a sound reaching the owl's left ear arrives at a fractionally different time and angle than the same sound reaching the right ear, and the owl's brain uses that tiny difference, measured in microseconds, to calculate the precise three-dimensional position of the sound source. Not just left or right, but up, down, near, and far. A complete spatial map of where the sound originated, accurate to within 1 degree of arc. That's roughly the width of your thumb held at arm's length. The facial disc, the distinctive heart-shaped face that makes barn owls so recognizable, isn't just a visual feature. It's a parabolic dish, a biological satellite receiver. The stiff feathers around the barn owl's face are arranged to channel sound toward the ears, the same way a radar dish channels radio waves, concentrating and directing incoming sound with extraordinary precision. Even the slightest rustle of a mouse moving through grass generates enough acoustic information for the barn owl to build a complete targeting solution. And then there's the flight. Most birds produce significant noise when they fly. The rush of air over feathers is audible from several feet away. A barn owl in flight is almost completely silent. The leading edges of its flight feathers are serrated, like a comb, which breaks up the turbulence that normally creates noise. The trailing edges are soft and fringed, further absorbing sound. The result is a bird that can approach at full flight speed, around 50 miles per hour in a dive, without generating enough noise to alert prey. The mouse hears nothing. The owl hears everything. In field conditions, barn owls catch between 4 and 12 prey items per night, operating primarily in the hours when complete darkness makes visual hunting impossible for almost every other predator on Earth. Their documented success rate in real hunting conditions sits around 90%, which sounds slightly less than perfect until you compare it to lions at roughly 25%, great white sharks at around 50%, and cheetahs at around 58%. The barn owl, hunting in conditions where every other predator on this list would be completely blind, outperforms all of them by a significant margin. There is one thing worth acknowledging about the never misses claim. No predator achieves a literal 100% success rate in the wild. Variables like uneven terrain, unexpected prey movement, and weather interference mean even the barn owl occasionally misses. But in controlled scientific conditions of complete darkness, with sound as the only available sense, the success rate documented by researchers is as close to perfect as anything ever recorded in a predatory animal. For practical purposes, in the dark, it doesn't miss. So the next time you're in complete darkness, no phone screen, no street lights, no moon, and you can't see your hand in front of your face, remember that somewhere out there, a barn owl is hunting. It doesn't need the light. It doesn't want it. Darkness isn't a disadvantage for this animal. It's a weapon. Which sense do you think is more impressive? The barn owl's hearing, or the fact that its face is literally shaped like a satellite dish to collect sound? Drop it in the comments, and subscribe to NatureCrest for more deep dives into the animal kingdom's most extraordinary hunters.